welcome to Molecular Science. Today we'll discuss about cancer metabolism, basically about carbohydrate metabolism. Now we know that in our diet we consume high amount of carbohydrate in the form of polysaccharides and disaccharides. So these are called as complex form of sugar. Like we take starch, cellulose, lactose and sucrose. Now these complex forms are converted into simple sugars like glucose, fructose and galactose. So the blood sugar level or the blood glucose level is maintained by three hormones. They are insulin, epinephrine and glucagon. Now these three regulates the blood sugar level. So whenever there is an increase in the level of glucose in the blood, insulin is released from the pancreas and it starts to convert the excess amount of glucose to a stored form, that is glycogen, in the liver and in the muscle. So and this is carried out, and whenever there is a requirement or in the depletion of the glucose in the blood, the stored form of the glucose, they get converted into a simple form of glucose and they are used for the synthesis of energy, that is in the form of ATP, as well as to synthesize some of the intermediates which are required for the synthesis of proteins, lipids and nucleic acid. Now today we'll discuss about what is the difference between a normal cell glycolysis and a cancer cell glycolysis. So if we see glycolysis, this is a simple step we'll find, that is a respiration. This is the aerobic glycolysis which is entering into a respiration in normal cell. So here whenever there is a glucose, it is in the blood, it enters the cell and get converted into glucose 6-phosphate in presence of enzyme hexokinase 1. Then further to fructose 6-phosphate, fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, 1,3-di-phosphoglycerate, and after further into pyruvate. And from pyruvate in normal cell it enters into the next step called of a TCA. It is a citric acid cycle, and here in TCA this pyruvate enter into over here, get converted into acetyl CoA in presence of enzyme pyruvate dehydrogenase. It undergoes various steps and there is a conversion and the cycle runs. Now from this there are reduction equivalents are released and they enter into the respiratory chain, that is ET electron transport chain, and through this there is a synthesis of a ATP. So this is a normal process occur in a normal dividing cells. But this situation is not similar with the cancer cell. As we know, cancer cell, they have lost the ability for a controlled division. So these cells keep on dividing. During this division, they do need a source of energy as well as the intermediate components to synthesize protein, lipids and nucleic acids. So why this cancer changes? It's metabolic, that is a glycolysis or a oxidative phosphorylation process. What happens to here? Here cancer cell chooses a simple way or a faster way to synthesize energy. Now if we take a normal glycolysis, it has to, for the synthesis of ATP, it has to cross through the glycolysis, it has to pass through the TCA and the electron chain. Even though there is a high amount of ATP is produced, but this is a lengthy procedure according to cancer cells. So it takes a faster process. So most of in cancer cell, what happen is there the glycolysis till pyruvate, and most of the pyruvates get converted to lactate using lactate dehydrogenase, where there is a release of energy, and a few of the pyruvate enter into that is a TCA, and then respiratory chain. Mostly about 50% of the cells, that is 50% of the glucose enters into the electron transport chain and 50 are to the lactate dehydrogenase. Now what makes these changes and how the changes are getting or how the changes are happening? So in the previous lecture I have discussed about there are the mutations based on the growth factors we can see. There are mutations about MYC genes. So there are the mutations of KRAS. So multiple factors are there. So here we'll mostly discuss about how the enzyme systems are involved in this change. So this change was first discovered, the change in the cancer cell, that the conversion of the glycolysis entering into the less efficient respiratory system, that is into a lactodehydrogenase, was discovered by Warburg. This is also called as Warburg effect, and it can be compared with the Crabtree effect, which is reported in yeast. So in yeast also we find that there is a glucose variation level is high. So the yeast cell, the pyruvate gets converted into ethanol. There is ethanol production rather than entering into the oxidative phosphorylation part. So this has been compared with the Crabtree effect also. So we'll start here. What are the changes occur in enzymes system in the glycolysis during this Warburg's effect? Now, if we take the first step, initial step in glucose getting converted into glucose 6-phosphate, which is regulated by the enzyme hexokinase 1. This is in cancer. This is overexpressed and insensitive to that is a glucose 6-phosphate concentration. So usually there is a inhibition if the substrate concentration, that is if the concentration of glucose 6-phosphate increases, so there is an inhibitory process, but it is lost in the cancer. Now this is the first step. The next one is the conversion of glucose 6-phosphate to fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. Now here this is overexpressed and overactive due to high level of its allosteric activation because of increase of glycolysis and calcium. So here what happens, whenever there is a high level of glucose, when there is a very high level of glucose, there is an increase in the calcium level. Now this calcium causes the activation or the overexpression of this enzyme phosphofructose kinase. So this part is runs in an uncontrolled way. The next one is here is the lactate dehydrogenase. This is lactate dehydrogenase in cancer cell is overexpressed and overactive. So most of the if we talk about the glucose metabolism, here it shifts to the lactose. That is, it creates an acidic condition. Now this acidic condition it causes certain like inhibition of oxidative phosphorylation. Now once there is a high level of lactose in the surrounding, it causes the inhibition of the oxidative phosphorylation because it blocks the activity of the most of the enzyme, the acidic pH. If we come here, the pyruvate dehydrogenase. Now this pyruvate dehydrogenase is inhibited by the pyruvate dehydrogenase kinase. So in cancer cell, this enzyme get inhibited. Now if we talk about like this Krebs cycle, here we can see the mutation in the subunits of a succinate dehydrogenase A, B, C. So these are the few factors, enzymes also which are getting inhibited or they are getting activated in the cancer cell. Now if we talk about respiratory chain, what happens over here? Now there is a blockage of the complex 3 and 4 because of decreased expression of a due to the expression of a phosphofructokinase. Now ATP synthase. Now here there is the ATP synthase. So this is the expression. ATP synthase is blocked by the high level of calcium. So here we already have seen there is a high level of calcium. So some of the subunits of ATP synthase gets blocked out. Now this is the generally it is happening. Now we have here the cancer cell. It converts or from a complex like the process of glycolysis, which we see normal cells, that is a glycolysis followed by respiratory, like we have the respiratory chain and synthesizing ATP utilizing oxygen to a primitive form. Now why it has to convert to a primitive form? That because this is a primitive form. We take the synthesis of the lactic acid as primitive form. The major reason is there is a high requirement of ATP, so it takes a faster process to generate ATP, as well as it takes a faster process which can generate the intermediates which are required by the dividing cells. Now the dividing cells, they require the source of protein, they require the source of lipids and nucleic acids. So this is supplied by the taking a shortcut method. So this is an overview of the glycolysis which is happening in the normal and a cancerous cell. There are certain points I would like to discuss. Now, what exactly happens over here? So first one is there is a competitive binding of ADP and PI between the glycolysis and oxidative phosphorylation. So there is a competitive binding between the glycolysis and the oxidative phosphorylation. So as we know, the cells are dividing at a very high rate. Once a cell starts to divide very high rate, there is insufficient oxygen supplies. So there is a glucose demand because other sugars also get converted into a glucose. There is increase in the glucose level near the cancer cells, but there is a decrease in the oxygen level. So if there is a decrease in the oxygen level or there is increase in oxygen tension, so there is this causes this affects the oxidative phosphorylation. Next one is lactate decreases the pH of the surroundings. So once the pH of the cells decreases, it also decreases the oxidative phosphorylation because at acidic pH, there are certain enzymes which get inactivated. Now, increase of glycolysis increases the level of the ROS, reactive oxygen species. These reactive oxygen species react with the mitochondrial membrane and damage the mitochondrial membrane. So this may be one of the possible reasons why the oxidative phosphorylation is decreasing in the cancer cell because of high amount of reactive oxygen species. The next one is increase in oxygen tension causes decrease in TCA cycle, decrease in the pH, and it leads to hypoxia. A condition called as hypoxia is where there is an increase in the oxygen tension. That is, there is a low level of oxygen and the cells try to survive in the low level of oxygen. Once the hypoxia condition starts, there is activation of an enzyme called as hypoxia inducing factor 1. This hypoxia in turn activates for hexokinase. So again the rate of glycolysis is increasing. The demand or the utilization of glucose increases in hypoxia. As we have seen, there is a damage to the oxidative mitochondrial membrane. So we know that apoptosis, the process which controls the cell, it is a cell death. So most of the enzymes or the apoptotic related proteins, they are present in the mitochondria like cytochrome C, caspases. So once there is a damage of the mitochondrial membrane or mitochondria, the apoptosis rate decreases or the cell loses its apoptotic character. Now we'll talk about tumor microenvironment. Now what is tumor microenvironment? This tumor microenvironment is the surrounding of the tumor cells. What is the microenvironment present in the surrounding of the tumor cells? The first one, what we have seen, there is an increase in hypoxia, that is low level of oxygen. So if there is a low level of oxygen, there is a decrease in a pH. So once there is a decrease in a pH, there is a change in the epithelial mesenchymal transition. So the cells, the tumor cells of the cancer cells starts to metastasize. They starts to move out. And once they move out, they starts to build a new blood connection. So by the process of angiogenesis starts. So this is where the tumor cell starts to spread. So once there is acidic pH, there is a change in the there is a EMT transition which is causes that is EMT transition causes the metastasis process to increase. So there is a high rate of metastasis. So these are the few points important regarding this, what changes occurs once we have a change in the glycolysis or in the cancer cell. So that's all for today. I hope you like the video. Please do subscribe.